Today we're looking into an issue that has become a hot issue in the WNBA and even beyond the game of basketball. Caitlin Clark's record-breaking season has not only eclipsed previously unbroken decades-old records, but has also angered one of the game's legends, Sheryl Swoopes. What if a young prodigy rebels against the old order? Get your snack. It is an explosive contest you would not want to be away from. Caitlin Clark has done what most people thought was an impossible task, breaking the record of most assists in WNBA history in a single season, which stood undefeated for years. She has the talent to understand the game, know where her teammates will be, and how to pass the ball accurately, which has not only made her an up-and-coming but rather a sensation in women's basketball. Her imagination in a game is unmatched, and the assisting style of play that she possesses is breaking records not only for the debutantes but also for the experienced players. More than raw figures, which are indeed crazy, is what Clark's performance entails. It would be the manner in which the game is being played, quick, smart, and entertaining enough to keep the audience up. It seems that for her, every match competes for being remembered in the history books, and so it is worth mentioning that millions of people are coming to be part of history. But what makes her record-breaking season even more remarkable is that she is doing all this with a target on her back. Every night she has to deal with the most physical players in the league who all want to stop her. Time and time again, Clark continues to rise up and perform, game after game, and it is easy to see that she is not only good but excellent. This achievement is not solely because of her. Instead, it is how she is single-handedly changing the norms in the WNBA. Still, every joy has its blurry side, and in this case, a number of the fans are not happy with the achievements of Clark. Sheryl Swoopes, one of the greatest ever and the most emblematic players in women's basketball, has been on record about her disdain towards the superstar status given to Clark quite early into her career. More than a few people have taken issue with Swoopes' remarks, both fans and players, especially because a lot of them are reluctantly finding it hard to understand why a 10-time accomplished player would wish to belittle the achievement of a player that is clearly changing the game for the better. Clark's timeline is lengthier than Swoopes' in all aspects, and Swoopes has been ridiculed in dimension in regard to the ceiling that Clark was approaching, claiming there is too much acclaim for her being able to compete at Walker's level without any decisive reference in the title. However, with every assist three-pointer and every game she plays, the Clark makes it harder for the critics to stay on that narrative. This is a conflict that appears to encapsulate the conflict between the history of women's basketball and where the game is headed. The changing of the guard, where the old guard is unwilling to surrender. And it isn't just a matter of two players. It concerns the development of the league itself. Swoopes' words may indicate further that deeper afraid understate, the one that greatest of many becomes more glory, true fears. However, now that Clark is no longer shattering records and doing things that only himself thought deep changes may be coming in the structure of the WNBA as we know it and how it was built before. The backlash was also quite significant upon the circulation of Swoopes' comments. Another WNBA future superstar, Angel Reese, explained the fan anger on her YouTube channel, emphasizing how emotional people are concerning Clark's achievements. It is not only Clark that the fans are backing, they are doing so to hers since she is portraying a modern perspective of women's basketball. There are players too who have chosen to take sides. Whereas some of the older players might be intimidated by the pace at which Clark is on the rise, most other players of her age are quite supportive of her actions. Rather, they believe it is a mark of progress to be proud of. Clark's mark is unquestionable, and it's bringing more focus, more followers, and more expansion to the league than it has ever seen before. The WNBA has been gaining more viewers and attracting more fans, and this is quite understandable since these kinds of performances from Clark generate plenty of buzz in her games. All this support from fans as well as players forms a wave that is too big, it's hard to escape. This is not merely about the accomplishment of one particular individual, rather it is the changing order in the league. It is ludicrous to deny that the WNBA, upon more people being interested in watching Clark play, is nearing its new golden period, one where the appeal of the athletes on the court is no less than the excitement surrounding the events beyond the court. Away from the court, Caitlin Clark's accomplishments are sending shockwaves throughout the WNBA. As she sets these records, it is not only her status that is increased, she is raising the profile of the entire league. There is a reasonable scope of financial growth associated with Clark. An increasing number of seats are being occupied during games, more merchandise is being sold, and more sponsors are excited about the league. However, money, while critical, is not the main focus of the discussion. Clark's presence is helping in changing the perception of women's basketball. She is becoming a famous figure, not only for the basketball followers, but for the whole society. notoriety. Her matches are being telecasted to a wider audience, and she is receiving interest from demographics who would not have been really interested in the WNBA before, such as the general public. Such crossover appeal is hard to obtain and very beneficial to expansion of the sport. Clark's influence is not only sporting, it's also cultural. Her very presence confronts and dispels those tales and confines. That women's basketball is not different, less entertaining, less intense, or less sellable as compared to men's basketball. The way people view the league has an impact on its prosperity, and in the case of WNBA, a new potential promise of securing corporate sponsors, media exposure, and even fans. Whenever we look at Caitlin Clark shattering one record after the other while negating all the odds stacked against her, it is apparent that a new chapter is being written in the history of women's basketball. She is raising the bar in every aspect of being a superstar today, demanding talent, determination, and toughness all at once. More than that, she is also urging the league itself to change, to welcome a new generation of players, to understand the evolution of the game, and to expand the possibilities. However, the conflict that exists in the NBA between Clark and the likes of Sheryl Swoopes, even though uncomfortable, has to be there. Rather, it is a clear indication of the growth of the league, that its development is impressive, and that it is prepared for the future without a shadow of its past. While the fans, players, and legends shall grapple with these changes, one thing is without a doubt: Caitlin Clark is never going anywhere, and she is taking the WNBA to the next level. We appreciate your attention on this video, and don't forget to like it and make some comments down below and subscribe for more action. More including this video awaits in the next one.